Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 6, and text number 8. येष ह्य अशेष सत्त्वानां आत्मांशः परमात्मनः अद्यो अवतारो यत्रासौ भूतग्रामो विभाव्यते. Translation and purport by His Loving Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The gigantic universal form of the Supreme Lord, incarnation and plenary portion of Super Soul. He is the self of an unlimited number of living entities, and in Him rests the aggregated creation which thus flourishes. The Supreme Lord expands Himself in two ways: by personal plenary expansion and separated minute expansions. The personal plenary expansions are Vishnu Tattva, and separated expansions are living entities. Since the living entities are very small, it's described as the marginal energy of the Lord. But the mystic yogis consider the living entities and the super soul, Paramatma, to be one and the same. It is, however, a minor point of controversy. After all, everything created rests on the gigantic Virat or universal form of the Lord. Om Akhyartimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guruna Vaishnavancha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Varijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Vedanta Swami Nidinamne Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. The gigantic universal form of the Supreme Lord is the first incarnation and plenary portion of the Super Soul. He is the self of an unlimited number of living entities, and in Him rests the aggregated creation which thus flourishes. So, as we have discussed in previous chapters, there is a Mahavishnu, then Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and now there is explanation about Shirodakshay Vishnu. This Virata, or Virata Purusha is the plenary expansion of Supersoul, that is Kshodakshaya Vishnu. All these Leela avatars generally we consider, they are the expansions of Kshodakshaya Vishnu, not a Garbhodak or not a Mahavishnu, but they are the expansions of Kshodakshaya Vishnu. With a specific reason, they appear in time intervals, the life of a Brahma. For the creation purpose, the super soul, he expands himself as his partial expansion as a Virata Purusha, which is none other than, as Prabhupada, as explained by Maitreya here, that he is the self of the whole creation, is the consciousness of this Mahattat. Then further in the next verse, what is this Virat Purusha consist of, has explained. Sadhyatma Sadidaivasya Sadibhuta iti tridha Virata Prano Dashavida Ekadaridhyena cha. The gigantic universal form is represented by 3, 10 and 1 in the sense that he is the body, mind and the senses. He is the dynamic force for all movements by 10 kinds of life energies. And he is the one heart with a life energy is generated. In the Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, text number 4 and 5, it is stated that the 8 elements, earth, water, fire, air, sky, mind, intelligence, and false ego, are all products of the Lord's inferior energy. Whereas the living entity who are seen to utilize the inferior energy originally belong to the superior energy. The internal potency of the Lord, the 8 inferior energies work grossly and subtly. The gross elements, namely earth, etc., form the external gross body and are like a coat, whereas the subtle mind and false ego act like an inner clothing of the body. The movements of the body are first generated from the heart, and all the activities of the body are made possible by the senses, powered by the 10 kinds of air within the body. The 10 kinds of air are described as follows. The main air passing through the nose in breathing is called prana. The air which passes through the rectum as evacuated bodily air and which sometimes sounds as a belching is called, evacuated air is called apana. The air which adjusts the foodstuff within the stomach and which sometimes sounds as a belching is called samana. The air which passes through the throat and stoppage of which constitutes suffocation is called udana. And the total air which circulates throughout the body is called the vyana air. Subtler than these 5 airs are others also. That which facilitates the opening of the eye, mouth, etc. is called naga. The air which increases appetite is called krukara. The air which helps contraction is called kurma. An air which helps relaxation by opening the mouth wide, that is yawning, is called Devadatta air. And the air which helps sustains is called Dhananjaya air. All these airs are generated from the center of the heart, which is one only. This central energy is superior energy of the Lord, who is seated within the heart with the soul and the body, who acts under the guidance of the Lord. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, text number 15, as follows. Sarvasya chaham radhi sannivishta matta smritir jnana apohanam cha vedesha sarverahameva vedyo vedanta kritveda videva chaham. The complete central force is generated from the heart by the Lord, who is seated there and who helps the conditioned soul in remembering and forgetting. The conditioned state is due to the soul's forgetfulness of his relationship of subordination to the Lord. One who wants to continue to forget the Lord is helped by the Lord to forget him, birth after birth. But one who remembers him by dint of association with devotee of the Lord is helped to remember him more and more. Thus the conditioned soul can ultimately go back home, back to Godhead. This process of a transcendental help by the Lord is described in Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, text number 10, as follows. Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam tadami buddhiyogam tam yena mam upayanti te. The Buddhi Yoga process of self-realization with the intelligence transcendental to the mind, that is devotional service, can alone elevate one from a conditional state of material engagement, entanglement in the cosmic construction. The conditioned state of the living entity is like that of a person who is within the depth of a huge mechanical arrangements. The mental speculators can reach the point of Buddhi Yoga after many lifetimes of speculation. But the intelligent person who begins from the platform of intelligence through the mind make rapid progress in self-realization. I'm reading it again, this sentence. The mental speculators can reach to the point of Buddhi Yoga after many lifetimes of speculation. But the intelligent person who begins from the platform of intelligence above the mind makes rapid progress in self-realization. Yoga process entails no fear of deterioration or retrogression at any time. It is the guaranteed path to self-realization. In Bhagavad Gita 2.40, the mental speculators cannot understand that the two birds, as explained in Shvetashvatara Upanishad, sitting in one tree, soul. The individual soul eats the fruits of the tree, while the other bird does not eat the fruit but only observe the activities of a eating bird. Without attachment, the witnessing bird helps the fruit-eating bird fulfill the activities. One who cannot understand between the soul and supersoul, or God and the living entity, is certainly still in the entanglement of cosmic machinery, and thus must still wed. He will be free from bondage. The gigantic universal form is represented by 3, 10, 1. What is this 3, 10, and 1? Prabhupada has given the whole purport on that. 3 is like Adhyatma, Adi Devika, and Adi. As explained in the 4th word, 4th, 6th. 7th verse of this chapter. When we identify ourselves as a mind and body, then it is called as a self-identification, or adhyatmic identity. Second thing, when someone identifies himself as a product of material nature, and that is considered as Adi Bhautika. Means having faith in the material energies of the Lord, but not having faith in the Lord. And third thing is called as a Sa Adi Devika, means that considering ourselves as a part and parcel of the Lord, getting properly situated in our own position and render service. Everything in this material world is a perverted reflection of whatever there in the Lord's abode. In Lord's abode, Jiva always has a service attitude, and which is totally different in the material world. Jiva always wants to enjoy here, either with his mental speculation or by developing the desires for different sorts of sense gratification, which is averse to the devotional service of the Lord. But still, Lord says that if someone takes up this devotional service to him, that will make that person qualify to go back home, back to Godhead. It's tough to follow this path, but still it is considered as the easiest among all other processes are given in the scripture for the attainment of Lord. And in the first para, Prabhupada tries to make us understand what are these gross and subtle elements which are consistent, or which are the ingredients of this Mahatattva. In the second para, he gives more stress on explaining about the life air, or Dasha Pranas. And he gives the functions of each and every prana. And we have read it, how these different airs, pran, apana, udana, samana, and van, how they work in this material body. So from this we can understand that our body is also not controlled by us. It is controlled by the other elements. Next, in the third para, Prabhupada says that Lord who resides in everyone's heart is the power generator. Just sitting in the heart, he operates everything in the body. As he stays in Golok Vrindavan, and still he is everywhere executing his own mission. So same way, living entity also who stays in the heart along with the Supreme Lord. And as explained in the Shvetashara Upanishad, this Supreme Lord, as a Paramatma, he just becomes the seer, or sometimes as an advisor when we listen to him. And through the life air, all the activities of the body, they take place. At the same time, Lord also resides in our heart with the living entity, irrespective of whatever birth he has, whatever situation he survived. And here it is explained that who can understand all these things? The person who has devotion for the Lord. And as such a person, Lord awards him with the Buddhi Yoga. Tesham satatyuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam tadami buddhito yogam tam yena mam upayam. We can deliver ourselves by utilizing the Lord's mercy. What I said? Before that? By seeing our endeavor to achieve him. If we desire to remember him, he gives us that remembrance. If you desire to serve him and render service, he gives that knowledge through which you can develop strong faith in the heart, through which you can go further. And that happens by the Lord's mercy. Tesham eva anukampata. Anukampa means mercy. To show them my mercy, through it, engaged in come to me. Lord's mercy. That brings you for us, Lord, by his compassion, he gives the knowledge. Lord is compassionate to everyone. It's not that sometimes thought comes in the mind, if he has given independence, why he is not taking out that. So his only order and go back, come back. The andar ka mamla, internal matter that deals with the heart, not with the heart. Sometimes rules never work out there. But if something has to happen through brain, then you need to follow the rules and regulations. But when there is a heart, it's not compulsory that they have to do it, because they're doing it from the heart. Like mother. Even at this age also, if your mother calls up, what she will ask you? The first sentence will be, have you had your breakfast? Have you had your lunch? That will be the first question that she will ask. It's not that compulsory for her that every time she calls up, she has to ask it, but it's a love that never restricts her. Like myself, so many times I just give back to my mother. Why you have to ask every time whether I've eaten or not? I'm eating every day. But it's mother's heart. So many times she got back from me, but still she'll start her conversation with that only. Because they have that love for you. They have their main concern for you. So same way, Lord has love for everyone. But they are sort of impudent kids like me who tries to give him back. No, I don't bother about you. I'm sufficient, I can do myself. I know how to do that. Then he said, okay, go ahead. Rather than someone, if he submit himself, okay, my Lord, I'm really grateful that you have shown me a mercy. And henceforth, please give me that intelligence through which I can serve. Immediately Lord bestows him with that intelligence, because there is no resistance. Wherever there is a resistance, Lord does not want to, what they can say, persist that you should take it. No, he said, okay, don't want. What do you want? I said, I want this, I want that. Okay, go ahead, take it. Because he is loving Father. Pitaham. He says, I am the father of every living entity, not only human beings or who are born in the Yadu dynasty, or them call themselves now as a Yadavas, Gadavas, whatever they are. But need to understand that. Whom Lord shows his mercy? Who are receptive. Who are not receptive? Who are receptive, for them, his hand with the blessings are there. Abhaya Hasta. And who don't understand this Abhaya, for them Bhaya is there backside. Lord has a chakra in his hand also. It is there for them. Slashes them away. And sometimes Prabhupada says in his purport that Mayavadis, even though they are in the renounce order of a life, they are away from the sense gratification, but they have the last layer of Maya. That is, they consider themselves as a super soul. That Paramatma or that Brahman, both are same. When I will attain knowledge, I will become Brahman. Sometimes then they say that Danda Dharana Matrena Naro Narayana Bhavet. If I take sannyas and have a Ekadandi sannyas, then I can become Narayana. Now I am Narayana.
It's quoted in the Garuda.
What?
This from Garuda.
Danda Dharana Matrena Naro Narayana Bhavet. It is written in Garuda Purana.
Yes.
But Vaishnavas, they condemn this statement.
But it's from Garuda.
Listen. It's not that just by taking sannyas you can become Narayana. Just accepting the renounced order of life and you will become Narayana. The word Narayana itself is who gives shelter to everyone. Many sannyasis has become shelter to everyone. All the living entities. It's not an easy thing actually. Calling ourselves as a god, considering himself as a god. Vaishnavas, they prefer that, okay, spiritual master can be like a Lord Hari, to bestow mercy upon the living entities so that they can remember their lordship. Not that now I have become Narayan, so I will also make you Narayan. So you are also Narayan. If all are Narayan, then why you are down? Why am I up here? Why I am Guru? Why someone is my disciple? If ultimately, in all sense, everything is one, then why I should to listen to someone else then? This is what Mayavada Asat Shastra that Shankaracharya came up with. So, while concluding this, Prabhupada says, the mental speculators cannot understand that there is a difference between living entity and super soul. They are always different, they are not the one. And one who cannot understand this difference between the soul and super soul, or God and the living entity, is certainly still in the entanglement of the cosmic machinery, and thus must still await the time when he will be free from the bondage. And only one thing that can help them to get out of this bondage is devotional service to the Lord. Hare Krishna.
On the super soul activities. When we go through sufferings, God is simply watching, does not interfere.
No, he gives
instruction.
He gives, but you don't hear him. You have your Shadripus with you. Kama, Krodha, Lobh, Mad, Moha, Matsarya. When they are creating so much of noise, the noise of your best friend who is sitting next to you. He is always there to guide you, but you don't take his guidance. Whoever takes his guidance, they get liberated.
But when we go through some kind of suffering, then our mind is kind of agitated state. At that time we are not hearing anything.
We are not hearing anything at any time actually. Whether we are in suffering or sense gratification, or whether we are in calm stage, because we don't have a habit of hearing anyone. We need to speak. We want always to speak rather than hear. The first sense of knowledge or organ that has developed is ear, not the tongue or speech. To gather knowledge in this material world, the first thing has given is ear, which is open all 24/11 or 24/7. Gets closed. But still, we try to. Sometimes we hear to answer, but not to understand.
We say hearing our inner voice.
Everything. What is that inner voice? Inner voice is Lord.
Yeah, Lord.
Whatever good things that comes in our heart, that's by Lord's remembrance, not by anything else. And whatever bad things that we do, that we hear to our Shadripus. Either sometimes the Kama says, do this, sometimes the Krodha says, do this, sometimes envy says, and we do it. And Lord tries to tell you. And you get it. Whenever you get a bad thought, simultaneously you get a good thought about that also. Hey, I should not do it. Let him go. But ego says, no. Why? He has done this to me. I have to give him back. But again thought comes, why should I do it? Is that good for me? Is that good for him? Is that good for the whole community? We don't bother about that. Envy. Why? Why that person? Why not me? So whom you have to listen? Whenever there is a bad thing comes in the mind, It comes along with a good thing also, but choice is yours. You have to decide. So it depends upon how we are training ourselves, whom to hear. See, that's why to make these things understand, this whole creation part has given. How precisely and meticulously things are arranged one by one. How things are getting evolved, revealed to us one by one. It was like some 10, 20 years back. And I first read that layers of elements on one upon second, third, like that. They are 10 times thicker than the previous one. Last layer of ego. And just try to understand how big is our ego. It may be a just born baby or it may be a 90 years old man. All they have that thick of their ego. To pierce that, not that easy. Why Mahaprabhu says every time that you need to become a humble, then only you can take up devotional service. And the first thing created in this world is ego. And that is the last thing that we have to give up to enter in the Lord's realm. And if someone gives up at the beginning itself, then mukti hitva anyatha rupam swarupena vyavastita. The liberation, which is means attaining your own position, will be attained immediately if there is no ego. And the first instrument of ego is our mind. If mind is captivated by the ego, life is ruined. And then we don't listen to the Lord, who is just sitting in your heart as our counselor, as our well-wisher, as our guide, friend, philosopher, and guide. We don't care about it. And whom we blame? We blame Lord only. Huh? These bad things are happening to me. I'm doing this bad, and you never asked me to stop it. But we forgot. If you want to remember, then he makes you realize, hey, man, I got that thought before this thing happened, but I never worked on that.
Sometimes the Lord speaks to us through others.
Through others also.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you are not able to hear Lord sitting in your heart. So he tries to speak to you also. But still, if you don't listen, spiritual master is the external expansion of their Lordship, who is there to guide you each and every stage, because you are not able to find guidance of the Lord in the heart. So disciplic succession is meant for those specifically who are not able to connect themselves with the Lord directly. So they should go through the external expansion of the Lord, the spiritual master, and seek guidance from him. Sometimes people, they say, why we have to follow parampara? There are devotees, they are not in parampara, but they also did bhakti. Their level is totally different, because they are directly connected with the Lord. We are not. For us, we need that via media, and that via media is spiritual master. So sometimes when you are not able to listen Lord in your heart, then Lord manifests himself as a spiritual master and gives you instruction. As a Shiksha Guru, as a Diksha, gives you instruction. Makes some sense? Okay. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Srila Prabhupada ki jai.